ribbon on me. Gotta keep a papa for the red ribbon on me.
Scare my shots on the beat.
Oh, I gotta keep a papa, for the red ribbon on me. Flying away on them bus, yeah. Headed up the commies. I need me a bag full of sensu to get me back started. You don't even know what I've been through. The strain is hyperbolic. I ain't had a session in a minute, but I'm back. Let me finish. I'ma throw on the shade. Ain't going away. I'm mellow in it. Rock a house like a game.
It's Anime Sensei here, and I'm gonna be making What If Naruto Went Rogue, Part 1. As this takes place right after the Sasuke retrieval arc, as Naruto had returned to the village with a hole in his chest, barely able to walk, as Kakashi was trailing behind him not that far back, as Sakura had walked up to Naruto, rapidly asking him, Naruto, did you bring back Sasuke? Did you bring back Sasuke? Did you bring back Sasuke? She says at this point out of breath, as Naruto looks at them with a grin, as he says, I did it, Sakura. As he's pretty barely much holding on to cautious. As everyone around him, since only really Sakura and Tsunade were there, look at him. Honestly surprised that Tsunade wasn't all that surprised, but slightly surprised, while Sakura was very, very, very surprised at the fact that, well, in her eyes, Sasuke was the perfect person. No one could beat him. So she was slightly angered at this fact, but tried to keep that back, while forcefully smiling back at Naruto, saying, Good job, Naruto. Good job. As Kakashi, who was actually carrying Sasuke, had finally caught up to Naruto, as he had dropped down Sasuke to the ground, as Sakura went running towards Sasuke, completely running past Naruto, as she kneels down to him, trying to see if he was awake or even alive. Sasuke, she says rapidly. As Naruto's watching this, he suddenly thinks to himself in his head, wow, so I saved the person, you know what, it's okay. As Sakura can tell that Sasuke is knocked out, she suddenly runs up to Naruto saying, You idiot! How could you have done that to Sasuke? When I said bring him back, I didn't say bring him dead. As Sakura could see that Sasuke was in a coma, but misinterpret that as, well, death. How could you? I hate you, Naruto Uzumaki. I will kill you, and you're nothing but a demon, Sakura says. As Naruto had watched this, he was slightly hurt at this, but suddenly a new rage had triggered within him. But suddenly he snaps back, saying, Listen here, you pink-haired little trash man. You get out of here with this. If you wanted Sasuke back, you would have been strong enough to go and save him yourself. So don't act like I'm your little guinea pig or anything like that. Because I was trying to be nice. But since you can't appreciate that, go to hell, Naruto says with anger. As everyone around him was honestly surprised as, well, the rescue team was also back. Shikamaru, Neji, Choji, and Kiba, as they had actually never seen Naruto this angry before, as they were all pretty much shocked. As Naruto kind of gave off this vibe of just a nice guy who barely got ticked off. But this is the first time they had all ever seen him ticked off, and they were surprised that it was that soft, or if anything, they had expected it from anyone else. But they continued to watch on the scene. As Naruto says, you know what? Screw all of you. The only ones here who actually appreciate me or even care, or are actually good friends, is you guys. As he points to Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, and Neji. Because since we're on the list right now, let's go over it. Let's go over it. Number one, Kakashi. You you left me to go train Sasuke. Did you not? As Sasuke was in his coma, as everyone looked down upon him, Kakashi says, but Naruto, I, his training was more of a priority than yours. As Naruto grins back, looks at him saying, more of a priority. Right. So, let's say theoretically, right? I had trained with Ibisu for that whole month, right? Let's say, I don't know, Neji had intent to kill him, as, well, he nearly did kill me. But let's just say I was weaker, right, during our fight. Do you think I would have died, Kakashi? As this question actually left Kakashi in shock, as he actually thought it over for a second. Naruto most likely would have died, if not the fact Jiraiya came to help him out. As Naruto says, moving on. Next up is Tsunade. See, you were not. Tsunade, you were very nice, but I figured out some things about you. Number one, apparently you were my godmother, and you left me in the village, knowing real well the treatment I was getting there, and barely even cared. You didn't even come in to check on me. Like, come on, Tsunade. But it's okay. Yeah, actually, no, it's not okay. I'm done with all of you. As Naruto runs off. As the next morning, Naruto is called into the council's office. As Naruto can see the Hokage, the advisors, and the civilian council. As the civilian council is looking at Naruto with bare hatred. A lot of hatred. As a few of them say, how dare you? How dare you do this to Uchiha-san? They say it with anger. As Naruto claps back, saying, Uchiha, man, y'all are just a bunch of blinded people. But it's okay. It is okay. Anyway, why did you guys call me here? As Danzo was actually the first one to talk. As he says, Naruto Uzumaki, we here would have to vanish you as, well, your mission was to bring back Sasuke Uchiha. As Naruto suddenly interrupts saying, and I did just that. You said it. First of all, you never said it, he had to be alive or dead. So that's not fair. Second of all, from what I know, he put a hole through my chest. Are we just gonna ignore that? As Danzo responds back saying, well, it's different. Uchiha-san is more valuable to the village than you are. Sure, you might be the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, but he's the last Uchiha. Which means if he dies, then that means no more Sharingan. Anyway, that's besides the point. And unfortunately, the Hokage will not be able to do anything about this. As Naruto looks forward to Tsunade, who is actually somewhat crying a little bit, as she mutters out the words, I'm sorry, Naruto, I tried my best. As Naruto had actually managed to hear this, he silently says to himself, it's okay. As Naruto says, alright then, so be it. I must leave the village? Alright, Danzo-san, give me about, give me 3 days. As suddenly, 4 people arrive. If you're gonna kick him out of the village, you're gonna have to kick us as well. As Naruto looks forward, you can see these 4 figures with Kiba, Choji, Shikamaru, and Neji. As Naruto looks forward, saying, you guys can. With Neji grinning, saying, you are a friend after all. Also a comrade. You can't just let them do this to you, Naruto. As the rest of them nod with agreement. As Donzo at this point was actually getting pretty frustrated, he says, "Alright then, fine. You think I won't? Alright then, bet. You guys are all banished from the Hidden Leaf Village, and don't ever let me catch you here. Ever again. Ever. You each have 3 days. I don't care what you guys do after you're vanished. Just don't ever come back to Leaf Village, and if we ever catch you, it's on sight." And we're rechanging this to what if Naruto left the village? Yeah, sorry, I would put the rest of their names in here, but it's too much. Anyway, as the next day, well, no, 3 days later, we fast forward with each Naruto, Kakashi, Team 7, and all the other teams saying farewell. As Kakashi says to Naruto, before you go, I need to let you know something. You are the son of the fourth Hokage, who was in turn my sensei. I know I should have told you about this sooner, but it was a secret. As Naruto claps back saying, "A secret, right? Yeah, I know. Nah, but you know what's crazy? Lord Third's rule went away as soon as he died. So why didn't you tell me then?" Naruto says, as Kakashi was getting ready to respond with some type of excuse. Naruto says, "Hold the BS, Kakashi. We don't want to hear this. Just hold it. You have nothing to say. Nothing at all. So just hold it." As Neji, who was actually saying farewell to Hinata, Hayashi, and all of them, as Hayashi had apologized for the final time, "Neji, I'm sorry, deeply, honestly, for what happened to your father. Words can express how sorry I am, but here's a gift to remember him." As Hayashi handed Neji a special type of kunai. It was a bow staff actually, one that his father was actually pretty famous for. He was actually pretty skilled at it. As Choji, who was actually saying goodbye to Ino, both him and Shikamaru were saying goodbye to Ino, Asuma, and, well, their said parents. As Shikamaru's mother had tried to get him to stop this, as Shikamaru suddenly says, "What a drag. I at first didn't want to become a ninja, but when I became one, my goal was to stay true with my comrades, and Naruto's no different from this. So if they're gonna vanish Naruto, they're gonna have to vanish us with him," Shikamaru says, with honor, as all of them look at him. Asuma rubs both Shikamaru and Choji's heads, saying, "I'm proud of you both, my students. You've both done very well. I wish the best for each of you." As Asuma gives them a final fist bump while backing down, as Shikaku, who was Shikamaru's father, had actually came up to him saying, "I know this situation is all a drag, but I have something for you. It's basically something called Shadow Style, which our clan is actually pretty known for. Also, Lord Potato, if you're watching this video, I hope you don't mind if I include this in my what if." Yeah, I just found the idea pretty cool. And, yeah. So basically, Shikamaru Shadow Style is something that our clan actually specializes in. I wrote it all down on a scroll, so there's a few jutsu for you to learn and practice. Do your best, Shikamaru. As his father gives him one last giving him farewell. As Shikamaru looks at Choji suddenly says, "Alright, let's go." As Kiba had actually fared well to his parents as well. As they all look forward, they see a fifth person. They look forward and see that it's Rock Lee, as he says, I once heard from a wise man, those who abandon their comrade, those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. If you're gonna vanish Naruto Uzumaki, then you're gonna vanish me as well. As Rock Lee, who actually had his backpack, says, let's go. Forget this village. As all of them, that's it, farewell to their people. As they had exited the village, as they all talk among each other, figuring out what they should do. As Naruto suddenly says, while stopping them all, are you sure you guys want to do this? I know we can't go back, but they might give you guys a second chance. Are you sure you want to give up all that just for me? As they all respond back, Naruto, you're our friend. You would do the same for us, so it's no different in this situation. Well, if that's the case, we'll have to find somewhere. We most likely should camp, though. And as you know, you all got some new jutsu. I actually did too. As Naruto has a flashback to something Tsunade had gave to him before they departed from the village. As Tsunade tells Naruto, this jutsu was made by your father. It's called the Flying Thunder God Jutsu, and here's your mother's blade. Your mother's name was Kushina Uzumaki, the Red Death of Konoha, and she was the granddaughter of Ashino Uzumaki, aka she was a relative to Ashino Uzumaki, the founder of the Uzumaki clan. Yes, he was very well known around the nations. But here's your mother's blade, Naruto, along with your father's jutsu, the Flying Thunder God. Also, here's his kunai, as Tsunade gives it to Naruto, saying, I'm gonna miss you a lot, Naruto, but don't worry. I did send a message off to Jiraiya, and due to some situations and complicated stuff, Jiraiya won't be able to meet up with you all now. But within 6 months, he will be able to meet up with you all. As Naruto nods, saying, I'm gonna miss you all. As we have a flash forward back to the future. As Naruto says, yeah, I also did receive something, but we should definitely stay here for the night. Then tomorrow we'll figure out where we're gonna go. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end it off here. I hope you guys enjoy. Man, road to 200, man, I just love making videos. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Anime Sensei out.